Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nick, as always, and call me Touch Ninja, and we are once again back playing some Assassin's Creed Origins on Xbox One X at beautiful 4K resolution. Once again, gameplay captured at a San Francisco Ubisoft event that I attended a couple weeks ago. And I wanted to talk more about my impressions of the game, mainly why I gave the game kind of like a preemptive review score. I said that the game will probably score, in my personal opinion, on Metacritic between like an 8.5 and 8.7. So that is a solid game, if I can learn how to climb a column here. But that is not a top tier game. Top tier games are around like a 9-ish, 9 and above, in my personal opinion. Your Horizon Zero Dawns, your Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, those are probably some of the better games that released this year. And I got a question on Twitter, which was an actually really good one, and that is, why don't you think it's a top tier game? Because everything, obviously the game, as you can tell by the scenery here, looks absolutely gorgeous. And that's an excellent question, but I don't think I can tackle it in this episode, because this episode is mainly gonna be all about a primary campaign mission, so there is a ton of dialogue. I don't want to talk about the dialogue. So this is a main mission called the Scarab. It's fairly early into the game, about 4 to 5 hours-ish.
These crops need to be loaded for transport by the day's end.
A little more than a moment of my time, don't you think?
I'm sorry. We are normally two, but my son cannot keep up.
One thing at a time. Let your boy rest. I will help you collect your harvest. He is too young to be working the fields.
I know it, but my field hands ran off when I couldn't pay. Where's this delivery headed?
To Yamu for the Sekhmet ceremony. Get them sealed up and on the cart.
I seek the master brewer, Hakuf.
I have no time. Speak to one of my overseers if you must.
You misunderstand. I am a Magi. Apollodorus sent me.
Apollodorus, of course.
He sent me for the Scarab, the shadow that darkens Sais.
Shh, please. That is an evil name to speak aloud. Apollodorus knows the people are suffering. In my position, many confide in me. Trade is strangled, the soldiers run rampant, and the weight of Ptolemy's taxation crushes the breath from us. Come with me. Let us retire where we have a roof overhead.
Nachte, Hirt and Berg.
There are many terrible stories about the Scarab. I am sure Apollodorus told you. Tales of mutilation, disappearances, and folk buried in the desert and left to die. A horrendous fate. Trapped in the shimmering sand, your mind and body pounded by the remorseless sun, waiting for the final release into the Duat. But these are only stories. There are real villains in Sais, but the Scarab, if he exists, it is not safe to speak of him.
The investigations of Hakuf's agents. Concerns of the people. Sais is no different than Siwa.
See, I wasn't lying to you guys. Tons of dialogue, which, as you can expect during a main mission. So, like I said, this mission is called the Scarab. It's a fairly early on mission into the game. I think we're around level 10, which is around the 4 to 5 hour mark. They told us exactly when it was, but I have the memory of a goldfish sometimes. So yeah, this is the first half of the mission. There is a second half, but that part is held back by embargo. I did get to play it. It was pretty cool, but once again, they don't want major story spoilers released before the official release of the game on October 27th, which I perfectly understand. So you can pick up like little side missions and clues in these little areas as well by reading scrolls and stuff, and then use the scrolls to find a little bit of treasure a little bit later on in the game.
The last man who asked questions about the Scarab was near beaten to death, with his tongue cut out.
Who was he?
Old Goopa, father-in-law to the most powerful man in the region, Tahaka. That boy, Hawab, is his grandson.
Hey, you tired of winning? I'm looking for your grandfather. Do you know where he went?
No, he left on the road to Campiros. He should have been home by now.
I'll see if I can find him along the road.
Okay, so we're gonna go on kind of like a search and rescue mission here. We gotta find Goopa, which is the father of one of the main characters in the game. He has been captured. His tongue has been cut off, so he no longer can talk. And don't overfill the jars. That is a life lesson right there for you. So, one thing that you're gonna get used to when you're playing Assassin's Creed Origins is that we're gonna do a lot of base clearing, kinda akin to what you did in Far Cry. There are different levels for the bases, level 1, 2, and 3. I do tackle a level 3 base in the future, and it's the main boss in the area is like balls hard. It's so hard. He killed me so many times. Eventually, I just gave up because it was like a time limit. At the event, I only had 4 hours of hands-on time with the game. I know, 4 hours, only 4 hours, but 4 hours at an event, the time just flies by, and I wanted to try to capture as much as I possibly could for you guys, just to show you guys a little bit of everything in the game, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then I thought that I'd be the man to clear out a level 3 base, and then I just end up failing miserably. So once again, this kind of reminds me of like Horizon Zero Dawn with the fortress with the signal thing in the middle. There's a lot of elements in this game that do remind me of Horizon Zero Dawn, like I said in the last episode, the dialogue session. So just back in terms of like talking about difficulty, this game really ramps up the difficulty. It is no longer like the original Assassin's Creed combat where everything was easy mode. You could just counter kill like a wave of 20 guys. It's a lot harder in terms of the combat, in terms of how enemies approach you, and just the overall difficulty has just been ramped up a ton. And I think that's probably the biggest thing if you're a long-term fan of the franchise that you're gonna have to get used to. The game is just harder, and I personally actually don't mind that because I honestly feel that for a while there, for a couple of years, video games just became too easy. People or developers just focused on making the game look graphically good and basically try to tell a story, and gameplay in terms of difficulty was just basically the game held your hand the entire way through. And I think we're kind of this period where I think I would call it like the Dark Souls influence, where developers realize people actually get
you out.
And they want more difficult games because they find the experience more rewarding when they complete them. And yeah, it works well in this game, and you can really see the Dark Souls influence in the combat in this game. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in a future video when I have less dialogue to kind of weave around. But you'll see in future episodes when I really get into more.
The Scarab took your tongue, but we can help each other. Abu's told me that you are investigating the Scarab. Help me, and I can ensure he dies.
More head-to-head combat that it really has that Dark Souls feel, but it still has to kind of still work within the Assassin's Creed Anvil engine, so it's not nearly as crisp or as fluid.
Must deal with Sefetu's archers and Sais. They are his eyes.
As Dark Souls, obviously, but it was an honest, good attempt, in my personal opinion.
Grandfather! Are you alright? Is he hurt?
Banged up, bruised, and thirsty. The soldiers did not take kindly to him, but he will be alright. Where's your father, Kawab? We must speak of this.
Father is away, on his great work. Mother! Grandfather is hurt! Soldiers mistook him for a beggar again.
Father, what have you done this time?
He was searching for the Scarab. I hope he can help me. And in return, I can protect your family.
The Scarab is nonsense. Everyone knows this.
He wants you to read them.
It looks like the Scarab is summoning warriors to the city of Letopolis.
By the gods, that is where my husband is.
Or the city swallowed by the desert.
It is Father's destiny to rebuild it. We're going to join him soon. Right, Mother?
Yes. My husband Tahaka has been slaving there for months. I'm sure he can help you. He knows everyone there.
If you go, tell him I can't wait to see him.
Of course I will, Kawab. Boom. Yeah. Amosis?
Yes? Fresh cockles and mussels today?
My name is Bayek. I come from Hakuf. He needs your help as a friend of Jeska.
I'm listening.
Since Jeska was killed, Hakuf needs a trusted agent to shepherd people out from under Sefetu's watch.
Dead. You and Hakuf are out of touch. Jeska's too tough to be held by Sefetu. She escaped the firebrand.
What? Where is she?
Back on the river. She took a felucca loaded with supplies to the people she sheltered. She's taken a dangerous route to the southwest past the hippopotamuses to avoid Sefetu's eyes. If you follow the coast, you'll find her.
Hope you guys are in for some more hippopotamus killing action, because that's what's gonna happen. I don't know, I think this game has like a serious prejudice against hippos. They're just everywhere in this game. The Zubats of this game, or the wild boars from South Park, they're everywhere. Anyways, this game actually has a fairly in-depth crafting system. If you guys missed my first couple episodes of my early preview, and I was able to actually show you guys earlier in the last video the inventory screen of all the gear and how it's all laid out in the HUD and the UI, and it's very MMO-esque. If you haven't played an MMO, think of more Destiny-like, but just a lot more stuff that you can craft your character to. I think it's one of those things where they just wanted to check off a box. I'll be honest, it's just something to check off a box. Say, our game has this in it. So there's...
Away, you blasted! These bloated lake cows! Help me drive them off!
This RNG based gear system, because even if you do, everyone who does the quest, they're all different basically. What you get in terms of your reward, in terms of the weapons, it's always different, ranging from a common to a legendary or to an exotic. And right here, once again, I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed. I thought that probably against this group of guys, a long range weapon would be more suitable. And then I just got scared and I said out, I'm just gonna shoot my bow at these guys. Yeah. So yeah, but the thing with the inventory, those MMO Destiny-esque inventory systems, it's really geared towards games that with a heavy multiplayer focus. I don't even remember the last time an Assassin's Creed game had multiplayer. It's been cut out as they focus on the main campaign. And yeah, I don't think that it really has that much of a significant place in the game if you're just playing a single player game to worry that much about the loot system. I feel like I would have just preferred a simple system just like as there was in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, where there's a set amount of stuff and you just have to go to get it. But it's trying to be, you know, it's trying to be Destiny in an MMO. We try to get that. Here I swapped to a proper bow, which is the one that shoots like 5 arrows at a single time. Effective, but you burn through ammo really quickly, as you could probably imagine. I couldn't figure out how to craft more arrows. From what I can tell, I might be wrong about this, don't quote me, but the only way to refill arrows is to buy more in town.
What are you called?
Bayek,
Good to meet you, Bayek. I am Jessica.
how did you end up here?
I got lost. Sailed the wrong way.
I would not call avoiding Sefetu's patrols the wrong way.
What do you know of Sefetu?
Hakuf believed you are dead, but you escaped. He needs you back.
Help me get these supplies to my village. There are many depending on me. And we will talk.
Yes, ma'am. Feisty. I like it. So just wrapping up my thoughts on difficulty. I don't know how we got off to this tangent of inventory system as I hunt down this hippo right here. This exotic hippo. He's got all the gumballs. I swear he does. Anyways, just back on the topic of difficulty levels. This demo of the main mission that we're playing right now, not many people in my group of like 30 people finish it. So there are 2 groups, 30 each, one in the morning, which I attended, and then one in the afternoon that was right after me. And literally only 2 or 3 people all morning actually finished the demo. You best bet believe your boy finished it. I definitely finished it. So that just kind of gives you the idea of how difficult the game was in terms of the gameplay. I think probably the only reason I was able to finish it just because I have a pretty decent like Dark Souls background of analyzing like the enemy and like using the environment to your benefit, and you really have to do that with this game. You'll see it a little bit later. Well, like, you won't see it because that's the part that I can't show you guys, but you have to kind of take into account everything. You just can't one-man army single-handedly go up against a group of 5 guys and just go after it. It just doesn't work like that anymore in Assassin's Creed Origins.
How do you know Hakuf?
I was sent to him by a man to whom I am pledged. I believe we are working towards the same end.
Well, Hakuf is a great man. Though Sais is a region of self-proclaimed great men. But Hakuf has a good heart. He cares for his people and his city.
Yes. He protects them from cowards like the Scarab and Sefetu.
I have smuggled many families like poor Wenis and her son out of Sais to keep them safe. Those who have tried to refuse Sefetu, he has burned to death.
You are courageous to protect families that are not your blood.
If you say. I hide them in my village until we can arrange a caravan to get them beyond the desert. Hence the food and medicine I bring.
How did you survive?
Sefetu's soldiers brought me to Fort Nikio where they burned and tortured me. But I spat in their faces. When they thought me broken, by the gods, Sefetu has come!
Just look at this. Look how many reeds they fit on the screen all at once. This game is just so good looking. And this is gonna be this is played on Xbox One X, like I said at the beginning. And I actually found out, I have some very exciting news that...
No! Pentu! Anen! Wenis!
She's not happy. That I'm actually going to be receiving an Xbox One X well ahead of the launch date for review. So just maybe if it's early enough, I'll probably, if I can, I'll be doing my full series of this game
Is off limits. What is this?
on Xbox One X, or if the PC version of the game is not absolutely terrible and actually ported well. My first preference is to play it on PC. That way we can get the full 60 frames per second at 1080p at ultra resolution. That's generally, I think that's a sweet spot, 1080p 60 frames. I would probably be try to play a little bit higher, 144 frames-ish, but I think YouTube maxes out at 60, so that's all I can offer you guys. So I'm really looking forward to playing this game on PC if it is available. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a simultaneous release on PC as with console, which is the first time in a while that's going to happen. The last couple Assassin's Creed games, the PC version came out a couple weeks after the console version of the game, and you just can't wait on YouTube to post stuff. It has to be up like as soon as possible. But if it is available, I will be doing a full PC walkthrough, or if my Xbox One X for review comes out earlier, I'll be doing it on Xbox One X. But yeah, enjoy the rest of this gameplay. It's just kind of clearing out this section to meet, and you'll see. You'll see. So yeah, in the next episode, I'm actually taking questions from Twitter from you guys, of basically an AMA of your general questions, and based on my play of the game, if I can answer it, I will. So you guys can kind of look forward to that, and trying to keep a theme for each one of these videos. And I think this video was mostly talking about like difficulty level. That's how I planned it anyways. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, as always, if you enjoyed, just be a quick thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. As always, have a nice day.
What is this? It is done.
So many lives turned to ash. Is anyone left?
We need to be quick. More will come.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Pentu! Oh, by the gods, you are still alive! I will not leave you here. My cousins have a farm nearby. It may be untouched. Please, help me bring Pentu.
Of course. I will take him. Whoa.
Thank you for Pentu's life.
I did nothing that you would not have done. He owes his life to you. This is not the end of it, however.
No. Those dogs still hunt for the prick master. I will go to Hakuf. We must find a way to peel Sefetu out of his shell and deal with
I
it.
cannot bring your people back from Duat, but I will help you avenge your village.
You cannot stay in there! You are only making it more difficult on yourself!
I refuse!
My idiot brother has barricaded himself inside.
Who is it that you're speaking to? It's one of them, isn't it?
No, you fool! He fears Sefetu's men, but hiding his head in a bush solves nothing.
I am not an ostrich! Do I hear horses? Is it them? You better run!
Please, if it does not work, Sefetu's tax collectors will do something terrible.
I'm not sure I can convince him, but I will keep an eye out for these tax collectors. Perhaps I can persuade them to leave you alone.